Welcome, everybody, to another exhilarating episode of Where Did All My Friends Go? Podcast about life in the music industry. Boy, that was
awesome, man. Like, so we've been doing this thing where we kind of like record the intros afterwards, just because we like to get to the meat, like the meat and potatoes, like real quick with these episodes. And holy crap, have we got an awesome episode for you guys? This, oh man, I don't know. Like by the title, obviously you know who's on. Settle Your Scores. Like, if you guys haven't looked up Settle Your Scores yet, like, holy shit, you're sleeping on one of the best bands in the pop punk industry right now. They are so incredible. And Christian is such an amazing dude. We had the honor of being able to like interview him and talk to him, get to know some of his ins and outs and, what he's into.
And basically, we're just hoping that we're going to play D&D pretty soon together.
Yeah, pretty much. So with that said, we're going to get going here. And
let's get into it. With the City Never Sleep and Cities Never Sleep, people used to be like, whenever I'd promote, they'd be like, "Oh, you're just copying that band," and it's funny because I was like, "Oh,
that
we
sounds
actually
so different."
Well, and not only that, but we actually were a band for like 4 years before them. I was like, I guess we're the copiers, but that's cool. It's cool. I'm not going to fight about it. I don't care.
That's cool. Well, with that said, everybody. We want to welcome Christian Fisher from Settle Your Scores. Christian, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thank you guys for having me and not voting me off the show because I'm really late.
Well, I mean, it still might happen. This is usually like a Survivor kind of.
Yeah, we can always podcast. We can always vote you off the island.
Exactly. All right, Pat, why don't you go ahead and take us in and let's get this show on the friggin' road.
Cool. So if you haven't listened to the show yet, we kind of go about the same sort of stuff as most other podcasts do. We'll ask you stuff about the band. We're definitely going to do a lot more generalized, like big picture stuff and not just about like your new album retrofit and things like that.
Dude, whatever you guys want, throw it at me. I'm down. Let's go.
Cool. So, like I said, we like to start off these off with some history behind the band, which is pretty common with most interviews, I'd say. And, but we're going to try and kick it up a notch a little. With that being said, according to your website and most other thing I've seen, which is incredible, by the way, that Settle Your Scores began in 2015. However, you started making posts for the band in about November of 2014. Did you guys have like commitment issues early on, or are you just ashamed of the year 2014?
2014. So that was when the way we formed was. Oh wait, I don't get it. What's funny?
Oh, we're just asking if you had commitment issues.
Oh. No,
I don't know if we cut out or not.
We might have. Man, wouldn't that suck if we cut out?
I was just trying to ask the question kind of funny, but that's why he's laughing.
Oh, I feel like I missed half of that. Okay, so
I think you probably did.
That's all right.
Basically, we're a Craigslist band. So Ricky and Caleb from our band now, Settle Your Scores, they were in a band called Radio Rescue. That kind of, they didn't disband, but everybody went off and grew up and did big boy, big girl jobs.
Sure.
And so they were well, we have all this dope pop punk. So they posted a couple of our songs from the wilderness on Craigslist demos that didn't have vocals. So I saw their demos on Craigslist. I was looking for bands at the time. I was trying to join a radio rock, Breaking Benjamin sounding kind of band, I guess, at the time. And then I liked pop punk, but I wasn't looking to be a pop punk singer. I liked screaming and I liked, more mainstream, rock and heavy stuff.
Okay.
So I heard the demos and I was like, this is sweet. I want to be in this band. And so I did an audition. And so I think that was 2014 now that I'm thinking back. So around 2014, we all kind of met up. There was a bass player at the time that actually quit. We got a new bass player, Jeff, our bass player now. And then we have Pat, the guitarist. So yeah, it was actually a Craigslist band. So we formed 2014. I guess we kind of started releasing music 2015, 2016. So that might be why the timeline seems a little bit weird.
So you're telling us there was no commitment issues and everything's kosher and above water.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I'm committed to this band. Dude, I drive like 2 hours to practice and 2 hours home like every Sunday.
That's wild.
Practice.
That's commitment.
It is.
That's
if there's
awesome.
Commitment issues, it's the issue that I'm too committed.
I love it.
Oh man, I feel that hard.
Too much loyalty.
That's wild though, that how you guys kind of got started with that. I've never heard of anybody posting like music on Craigslist really or anything like that.
Really?
I guess no. I never really went on Craigslist.
Sure, like I mean, like if that's
for,
not
like,
the
casual
way.
encounters, you know.
I was gonna say
I saw you by the stairs.
I was definitely hesitant, but like I forget, like one of my buddies said, like, yeah, man, like if you look on like Craigslist personals, they have like band auditions and stuff. And I was like, okay, sweet.
That's
and
wild.
I did. I went to a couple other auditions and like the other bands just either totally said like, yo, you fucking suck, or like they're just like, oh, we're going with someone else. And then obviously
bet they're kicking
maybe
themselves now.
that was the reason they didn't want to announce in 2014 is because he sucked in 2014 and then in 2015 he was just automatically good.
I'm pretty sure that's the reason our original bass player left, is he did not like my vocals, because
really that's
Damn!
as soon as we were all
Spill
ready
the
to
fucking
record
tea. Let's
stuff.
go.
I was gonna say commitment issues was probably just caused by like me not being a good singer. Like honestly, he was gone. Like as soon as we were starting to record stuff.
Been there. I'm still there. I still suck.
Dude, same.
Fucking
so
like,
no, it's you know, I think we've all been there. I'm definitely there and have been there a lot. I have friends that are always like, why are you still trying to sing? And I'm like, I don't know.
Keyword
fun,
trying.
dude.
I try.
Like comparatively speaking, though, you guys are far superior vocalists than I.
Oh,
that isn't true. You're a great vocalist.
Hey, come on. You're nice.
Okay, so the thing that always gets me when people know I'm in a band and stuff, but a lot of people don't think I'm the singer, because I don't know. I guess like if you're a singer, you're supposed to be like really confident and like really like, hey, dude, like I'm a singer. I don't do that at all. Like I don't talk about the band unless people ask me. And like, but people, whenever they hear that I'm a singer in a band, the first thing like instinctively is, can you sing something right now? And I'm like, dude, no. Like, what? I'm gonna belt Amazing Grace like right now at like Denny's. Like, no.
I agree.
Pull out some of them hymns real quick.
I get that all the time. I get that very often.
Every time.
I hate that.
Without
it's the
fail.
worst.
Or if someone's like, hey, are you in a band? And I'm like, yes. They're like, can I play triangle for your band?
Yeah.
It's like that is like the go-to.
Like, no, I'm sorry. We're actually holding really recorder auditions.
Instrument?
Yeah. Like we've never heard that before. You know?
Dude, my thing is like
I think it's kind of funny, but it's overused.
I love it when like people will hear your sound or hear your music, and because they don't listen to like the genre that you play, they equate you to the most similar thing they can think of. And it's like, I've had like people like, oh man, I love your band. You remind me of Steely Dan. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's not even
that's not true. Like,
have you actually been compared to Steely Dan before?
I have been compared to Steely Dan. I'm like, which part? Like, well, you guys are really poppy. Like poppy? Or like when everybody's like, oh man, you remind me of Green Day or Blink. Like, let me guess, Green Day or Blink is the only punk band you've ever listened to, isn't it?
I mean, that's all I ever hear.
The one I always get is, man, I would have loved your band in like 6th grade. And it's like, oh, sweet. Like,
now what a roast.
Like, do we suck? Like is it good music?
Did you have daddy issues in 6th grade?
So you only liked this genre of music in 6th grade, or you would have liked this because you don't know shit when you're in 6th grade?
Right, like this isn't a compliment. Dude. This is making me like self-deprecate. Like this is not okay. I have confidence issues.
I'm glad you guys relate though. I don't know. I feel like you were talking about like people like equate it to like a certain, I feel like people always, when they hear us, they say like Blink or like A Day to Rebel, because like those bands are like huge, you know what I mean? That's like what a lot of people get exposed to with that style if they're not used to it. But that's Steely Dan. Never. I've never heard Steely Dan.
That's
comparison.
I've heard it once.
Borderline still think he's lying.
No, I've heard it once, but only once. Normally I'll get like oh, you remind me of Neck Deep. I'm like, man, you don't get out too much, do you?
Yeah, I guess
Neck Deep is much. I would say Neck Deep is closer than Steely Dan.
Far
definitely not the same at all.
Far close. But I'm just like, it's like, I'm sure every like heavy band, right, like has been compared to Metallica. Yeah, you're just like, oh, dude, you sound like Metallica. No, we fucking don't. I like the way you had your
guitars. It's dope.
It's like someone who doesn't know fucking heavy shit is like comparing Spirit Box to Metallica. I'm like, first off, no. Like, no, it's not how that works. But that's okay. Whatever. Glad you listened.
That's funny as hell.
Fuck. All right. Back on track. You released your debut EP, Settle Your Scores, in January of 2015, with which all of those songs made it to your full-length album, The Wilderness, which you released a year later. The track, How to Screw Up Your Future and Disappoint Your Loved Ones, blew up off that record and was never even released as a single. Can you walk us through like how that happened?
So we always joke about How to Screw Up because, like you said, it was not anticipated to be like a standout track. Like it, I mean, you know, it's a good
it's
song.
Fox for sure.
Oh, it's straight Fox.
That gave me so much wood hearing you guys say that.
I don't know if you can hear this, but my dick just hit the table.
Yeah, that song, it's one of my personal favorites on the album, but like I didn't see it as like it's not catchy. It's not
we can agree to disagree.
You know, like there's way catchier songs. Like
right, like if you were to like pick it apart, you'd be like, that one wouldn't be the one that I would think would be the hit.
And the title is long as shit too. Like it's just like everything about that song is not meant to be like marketable or like the biggest. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a really fun song to play live. That's actually one of my favorites to perform. But we anticipated like Worst Intentions or basically the 3 EP songs. We thought those were going to be the standouts, like in terms of like popularity and in terms of, you know, getting the band's name out there because they were the catchiest and they were the most accessible. But How to Screw Up just got really lucky. That song in particular got on, 2 or 3 like really big Spotify playlists, and we don't know how the fuck we got on there. Like we didn't pay any money. We didn't talk to anybody. We had no management at the time. We just got really lucky. It got put onto like Pop Punk Workout and like the Pop Punk's Not, like the big ones where we were like, how the hell did we land this? And then it stayed on those for a long time. So like our album just like got out there because of Spotify's algorithm just being really generous. Like we got lucky.
You're not the first person on this podcast that we've had as a guest though to say that like it's been luck and
it's luck, dude, for sure.
And it's hard because you're like sitting here like, we're trying to develop a community of people who are like genuinely trying to take their career seriously. And we love it. We're passionate about it. We ourselves are in our own bands and are trying to take it like it's something that we want to do. But when you sit here and tell them that luck has something to do with it, it's hard. And honestly, it's like a little heartbreaking because then you go, I have never been lucky. You know, it's like never happened for me.
Well, so the thing is, I mean, underneath the luck of just like Spotify being really like, yo, hey. We still got to work your ass off.
Oh yeah.
Our asses. Like we all had full-time jobs. Like we paid out of pocket for everything for like the first few years. Like saying like Spotify like blew us up. It helped, but we definitely grinded our asses off. We tore our asses off.
It's all about getting to that point where that actually does help. Cause like, let's be honest, if Spotify were to throw you on a playlist and your song sucked, like if like miraculously, right, the algorithm fucked up and all of a sudden your shitty song is on, it's still not going to do well. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to still put that hard work, dedication, and everybody out there listening is sick and tired of this fucking hill that I'm going to die on. But like, get your production like set, get a good song, like make it fucking great, And then when that luck, quote unquote, hits, it's actually going to do something for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you said the production thing too, because that's actually a hill that I've literally been like rotting away on. Like if we're talking dying on a hill, like audio production for your music, first impressions with music now are more important than the content itself.
Everything.
It's insane.
Literally everything. It's like crazy. It feels like it's backwards, right? It used to be the other way around. You used to be able to just get shit out there because not a whole lot of people could do it. But now that everybody has access to it, which is a great thing, it's gotta fucking stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And if you try and go out there with a track that's, could be great, could be awesome, but if it sounds like, an original like Misfits song, recording wise, no one's going to listen to it. And I love the Misfits, but it's some of the worst recording I've ever heard.
That shit can't fly
just
now.
one microphone in a room, basically.
It's hard.
Hard, and so if you're kind of if you're trying to take your band seriously and you're going to go out there with a track that's got one microphone hanging in a room,
you better be fucking good.
No one's going to fucking listen to it.
Well, that said, with hard work and dedication, being on that same track, you guys were able to play Warped Tour before they officially called it quits. Not only were you on Warped Tour, but you were also able to play the main stage. How was that experience for you, and what kind of impact did that leave? Because you got people like me, you got people like Pat and our listeners who unfortunately will never be able to play Warped Tour again, or at all. Dude. I never played Warped Tour. So what was that fucking like?
So we did, it was like, for all the bands that remember Warped Tour, the Ernie Ball, it was like an Ernie Ball Warped Tour contest where you basically just spam the fuck out of a link. And if people come on and comment on your music and interact with you, you get points that add towards if you win, you get on Warped Tour for a day.
Yep.
So we won our local Cincinnati date. And it was really, I had actually never been to Warped Tour ever.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like, holy shit, I'm going to Warped Tour, but I'm playing Warped Tour. I'm
damn.
It was, just being there in general was I was so whoa, this is freaking cool. But then it's whoa, shit, I gotta play. I'm scared.
Yeah.
So we did it. You mentioned the main stage, which that was in the freaking contract rules, is if you win the contest, you get to play main stage, dude. So we show up, we're all all hype. We have our instruments, our freaking cabs were on wheels. It was so hot, 90 to 100 degrees. The cab wheels were actually melting on the fucking pavement. So we were dragging full cabs. And so we get to the little tent. It's hey, report to this tent. You got to check in and get all your stuff set up. And we're okay, cool. So we get there and they're hey guys, funny story about main stage. You're not actually playing main stage. You're playing the small, I think it was Poseidon stage, which we didn't care. I mean, it's Warped Tour, dude. You get to literally play Warped. I don't know. I thought it was awesome. So we weren't on main. We actually got moved to the Poseidon stage. And actually the set itself, I don't remember any of it. I think I blacked out because I was just so adrenaline, so hyped. Because I was on first of all, it was one of the biggest stages I've ever been on. We usually played local venues and we had toured, but it was never a stage where you're the band. You know what I mean? We were just touring. And so we're we start up. Everybody. The cool thing about the stage was coming in. That was where the line fed through, when you got entry. So it was right by the entrance. So a decent amount of people actually stopped and were whoa, who are these guys? And the thing I remember most, because I straight up blacked out. I was so freaking nervous and so hyped. But I remember seeing in the crowd, there was a guy dressed as Waldo from Where's Waldo?
I fucking remember that.
Dude, and there's a picture. I think it was maybe my dad took it. You can see Waldo in every photo of us at that show. It's actually really funny.
That's awesome.
He's just chilling, rocking out. It was so
dude. There was a
cool.
guy who dressed up as Waldo almost every single year that I can remember. That it was fucking awesome, and it wasn't even the same guy. It just became a thing to dress up as Waldo.
It was a meme, dude. Yeah.
Yep.
The OG meme.
The original Waldo.
Pat, take this next one because you did the research on this, and I want you to take this next one.
I did it. I was going to do it. I was going for it.
Take it.
So you recently released Retrofit, which is a fucking banger, and your first release off of Mutant League Records. So of every song that you've released to date, which song would you say is your favorite and why?
Dude, that's really hard.
I know.
So like I have favorites that like I really like to sing, like where I'm like, man, this is so fun to perform. And then I have favorites where it's like I just like listening to it because I can't really sing it that well in person. So like favorite, I mean, one of my favorites to perform, we kind of talked about it earlier, is How to Screw Up from The Wilderness. Right. Like, I don't know, something about that song, it just resonates with me. Ricky wrote it, you know, back before he even met, you know, me or half our bandmates, but it just it's such a like fun song to just like scream and like just get out there with. But if we're talking like recording quality and like what I just like to listen to, if I do listen to our music, I really like The Way Things Used to Be from Retrofit. Something about that song, like the first time I heard it, I was basically crying. Like, I don't know, Ricky just wrote a really, really good song with that. And it just makes me think of, you know, kind of the theme of Retrofit, just like nostalgia and, you know, how growing up affects you. I don't know. Emotionally, it just...
and you know what? Like, I've gotten tired of the whole, like, oh, man, you listen to your own music? It's like, dude... When I'm listening to the music,
every once in a while,
like even
I
though
always do. It's just what I do.
Like even though I'm the vocalist or some shit, like it's more than just me. Like I'm not the only one that like wrote the fucking song. So like when I'm hearing
other people's parts for sure.
When I'm hearing, I'm like, dude, Alec put his fucking work in on this one. Victor put his fucking work in on this one. Like
right,
and they made it. You know, like I'm just a fucking singer. Like that's all I do. Like. Right. These guys made a fucking beautiful song. Oh, so like, fuck the people who are like, oh, you listen to your own music? I'm like, no, I'm listening to my band, man. I'm listening to like the emotional like side of what it's like to be with these dudes.
It's very true. Yeah, I don't do it like super, super often, but like the thing also is when we were recording, like I would listen to the songs like every single day to see if there's any like mix notes or any edits that we had to make. So it's like, yeah, dude, of course I'll listen to them. Like you said, it's art. It's like, there's also like a nostalgia factor to like listening to music that you and your band wrote, you know what I mean? Or that you guys used to perform. Like listening to our first album reminds me of touring on those songs. Right. And like, I don't know, that's like a really special place in the heart. You know what I mean? Like songs that you performed with your pals. I don't know. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So with that said,
your cat's really cute, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Her name is Benny. She just kind of joined. And,
I was actually going to say, I think this is the first time I've seen you not be like, get out of here, kitty.
Well, like I can't disrupt the podcast, so like the show must go on. So here's my kitty. My kitty's name is Benny. We named her after Benny and the Jets. So
that is sick.
She's pretty fucking cool.
Benny and the
Jets. Oh my god, I love your music. You sound like Elton John.
And Steely Dan.
Oh my god, you're so eclectic.
I actually learned. That's really funny you brought that up. I learned
you learned
that riff. It's actually so way simpler than I thought it was. I was like, oh, but then he like shreds like a 30-second solo, and then I was like, I give up.
You're like, okay, well, you know what? Steely Dan did it. And
call it a day.
I got that one part, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So what are some bits of advice that you wish you had when you were starting off in music that you can give to the people listening right now?
For sure.
Which is my
first one. Hi, Mom. First one is, I don't know. I feel like a lot of bands, they take themselves like way too seriously, like all the time, whether they're just starting or whether they're like, just like have fun, like work really hard, but have fun. There's bands that like, they literally, I don't know, they have like the image of like, if we make like a joke, like we'll never be taken serious. It's like, dude, like everyone's in this just having fun. I don't know. There's just bands that take themselves too seriously and they try to be like gimmicky right off the bat. It's like, just make good music and like just have fun. Make good music
and have fun doing it. And I hope you guys listening too have kind of seen a reoccurring theme. So we ask this question a lot from for our guests because we like to be able to pick your brain, and we like to be able to help the people who are listening to, if they're in a band that they're trying to do it, like we like to give them like feed them the fucking food straight from the source. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we've had like a very similar theme where it's like, do what you love keep it fun,
right,
and do it well. You know, like
the do it well part. I was gonna follow up and be like, there's like a fine line between like humor and like fun, and then but also being like genuinely focused. I don't know. There's a lot of bands that go too fun. You know what I mean? They're like, why aren't we blowing up? It's like, dude, you guys are just like joking around all the time. Like there's no business aspect to your band. Like there has to be some business in there too.
Right.
But if you're too focused on business and too focused on like image, I don't know. I feel like
have you ever heard of you ever heard of the band Dead Bundy?
No, but that sounds gnarly.
They're
awesome.
fucking awesome.
They're fucking awesome. We had the pleasure of being able to interview them on this podcast, and it's fucking awesome. Like they have one of the songs, like they found their mom on OnlyFans. Like they're not a joke band, but they're really funny. Like it's a funny band.
Like Bro Job, dude. Have you heard of Bro Job?
Yes, it's similar, but like they're pop punk and they're really fun. And like even the podcast was fucking hilarious. Like it was straight up everything you'd think from this band. But then when we got down to it, we're like, well, you're obviously you're having fun. You're not taking yourself too seriously. But do you still work at it as a business? And they're like, 100%.
You have to.
100%. Because it doesn't just like happen. So no, dude, thank you so much for that. Like, again, just reassurance, affirmation. And anybody out there listening, if you're trying to do this, this is fucking gold. Like it's fucking gold. Like you can't go wrong with it. So if you're ever having like, hey, I don't know if we're having too much fun or not, or whatever, just fuck off. Listen to the podcast.
Right.
listen
you
to what
listen to
saying.
us. We know.
You don't even listen to me or Pat. Listen to fucking Christian, right? Like listen to the guests.
Listen to me.
Like we don't fucking know shit. Our bands are nowhere. Like we don't.
That's
know
not
what
true.
We're fucking doing.
You guys slap.
Thanks, man.
Well, you haven't even heard of my band, so go fuck yourself.
Wow.
Are you Dead Bundy?
No.
I wish he was Dead Bundy.
Holy shit.
He's like just throwing himself out there. It's like, you ever heard of this band? They're fucking sick. Are you in that band? Yeah. On that note, we'll be back after this commercial break. Hey everybody, we'd like to take a second to thank today's sponsor. #LameAssDads is a pop punk band from Nowhere, Ohio, whose members are, well, Lame Ass Dads. The band formed in early 2021 when two friends, Ryan and Andy, decided they still had some gas in the tank for songwriting and creating. Now, in their late 30s, with real job families and responsibilities, they realized they still needed an outlet to get their adult angst out. For fans of Blink-182, Bad Religion, MXPX, and The Descendants, their debut album, Greetings from Nowhere, Ohio, is out now. Their song, We Wish You a Lame Ass Christmas, is out now. Stream it on Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, Amazon Music, or anywhere else you stream music, as well as Unsigned Pop Punks, A Very Pop Punk Christmas, Volume 1. Give them a follow on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at LameAssDads. You can also head over to LameAssDads.com to learn more about the band and get connected to all things lame.
And we're back, and we got Christian Fisher here from Settle Your Scores. Again, Christian, we really want to thank you for being here. You're dope. Settle Your Scores is dope. I don't know if kids still use dope, but I'm gonna fucking say it. I don't give a shit.
I say dope all the time.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm not alone. So we have two segments here for you. The first segment is called Obscure Question Segment. All right.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. This is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah. Now we're just kind of like we're leaving the music questions. We're just gonna just ask you questions.
Yeah, man. Because you've been asked these questions before. You've been asked what was like to have your single release. So you've been asked what it was like to be on Warped Tour. We fucking get it. Let's get to some nitty gritty shit.
Yeah, grit me up, dude.
All right. Grit me up, dude. That's my next tattoo. That is my next tattoo.
This first
you stole my idea.
This first question is an important question now. If we were going to start a game of Dungeons and Dragons, like right now, what would your race and class be?
I would play the character that I have planned right now. His name is Felix Moonborn. He's a moon elf sorcerer. But the gimmick with him is he looks like a trap anime character. So he looks like a woman. So there you go.
That's my favorite. Being a lover of nerd culture, dressing up as Austin Powers for a comic convention, and a pirate for Renaissance Fair, you started a dice company with a friend called Durandal Dice a couple years back. What made you want to start doing that?
So, dude, growing up, my dad actually, he was like really into like Dungeons and Dragons. Like he had like the digital games on like floppy disk and stuff. So he would play them on computer, and my brother and I would just like watch. And I don't know, dude, I got like fascinated by it. And
There's something about watching someone good at video games.
Right, exactly. He was
like,
he was like, I'll watch slaying. Oh, he was slaying. So stuff like Lord of the Rings came out when I was a kid. So I always thought that just like high fantasy stuff was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then, went through high school, I was pretty nerdy. Like I played video games and stuff and like was in bands, but like I wasn't super into like tabletop games or D&D or anything like that. Yeah. Like I knew what it was and I thought it was cool and I had played like video games, but I never actually played the tabletop. And then one of my buddies, while we were working together, once we got like out of school and like got jobs and life started sucking. He was like, dude, like, why don't we just like play a campaign of D&D? Like it can't be that hard. And I was like, actually, that sounds pretty sweet. And then we just got a group of people, like there were 3 or 4 other people that got involved and we started playing. And as soon as we started playing, dude, like totally addicted. Like I love D&D. It's one of my favorite things on the planet.
Hell yeah. Well, if we ever meet in person, you're gonna have to teach me because I have never played D&D.
I've been meaning to start playing again. I used to play in high school, and I have a friend that's been like wanting to play for the past like year. And
you should do it, dude.
I want to. I just don't. I have no good excuse.
It's fun.
Hell yeah. Pat, take the last question. Oh, wait. Sorry. Fucking Zoom. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, do it, dude. Just do it. Like, that was it. No, you're fine.
Pat, you heard it there. Straight from the source. Just do it.
Yeah, he even said he'd
like, why don't you, I was going to say, dude, like, let's quest. I'll be in your party. I don't care. Let's go.
Let's do it. I'm in. Bear, we'll get you started too.
Thank you. I just want to thank I want to thank God, really.
He's always there.
Yeah.
It's helping me get through the D&D.
All right. So this last question then for this segment, just I just wanted to I really want to know because I want to know where I can find it. Is it true that you started writing a fantasy novel? And what is it about and how is it going?
So this was like peak COVID, dude. I've always actually really liked writing like novels and like short story type stuff. Like I've always kind of going back to like that high fantasy thing. Like I've always just found those stories to be like awesome and like epic. And I was really good at writing. Like I took a creative writing course in college and the teacher was like, you should switch your major to creative writing. And I was like, I don't know about that.
I want to be in a band,
business, but like I always loved writing. It was basically like I have a lot more interests but like I've always loved writing. It's always fun to like create and like come up with like characters and stories and like landscapes and stuff. But I started typing a novel. I got like 1 chapter done and then like my life got super busy and I just like stopped writing it, but it's still there. The concept is basically it's like it's basically like a band of like dragon riders. Like dragons are like outlawed in the land. Like dragons are like too dangerous, man. We got to get rid of every dragon. Kind of like a conservationist theme of like saving the animals, but they kill every dragon. There's like a dragon left. It's nuts, dude. If I ever write it again, I'll definitely send it to you guys.
Yes,
but
please.
Basically, there's like vampires and demons and dragons, and it's really cool. And the name of the dragon riders, they're called the Hellsingers. I don't know why I just named them the Hellsingers, but it just sounded cool. I think because of like Alucard Hellsing, the anime. But I don't know.
There you go.
That's pretty
right, man.
A lot of weird shit.
That sounds awesome.
I fucking love it.
All right, we're gonna move on to our final segment, and this segment is called Rapid Fire Questions. You just shoot from the hip, man. Answered how it's like word association. We ask you the questions, you just boom, done. Okay.
Just feel it in your heart.
I feel like I'm gonna give away some weird information. Okay.
It's possible. All right. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Pizza or tacos?
Taco pizza.
Okay. Saved by the Bell or Boy Meets World?
Boy Meets World.
Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
Mortal Kombat.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs. Oh, as you hold your cat. That's hard to answer.
It's all right.
It's okay.
I'm a dog person too. Pudding or Jello?
Pudding, I think. Yeah, pudding.
Day or night person?
Night, I think. Yeah.
Is that out of necessity or is that like just out of
I just think
what
the
you
moon
do?
is really cool. Like I just like the moon.
Dude,
Right
my
on.
girlfriend turned into the fucking moon, man.
Hell yeah.
Avatar reference. All right, Fall Out Boy
Oh,
or
yeah.
My Chemical Romance?
Oh, dude, that's actually really hard.
Just feel it. What's in your heart?
My chem.
That's fair.
So I like it.
Well, you did
Cool,
it, man.
That's it. You did it.
That was it.
That's
was
the podcast.
That was hard. That was
No,
hard.
I think you could
That
use
last
that
question.
for me.
Hello. Hello. No, I just because my chem, they're both so iconic. Like my chem, they have like that like whole like darkness vibe. You know what I mean? But like Fall Out Boy, some of their songs, dude, like they had like chart toppers. But like so did my chem. It's like how do you compare them? But they're both so different. But they're both the same. I don't know.
So good. All right, man. Well, with that, closing out, we ask you to plug your band, plug your brand, plug who you are, where we can find you. Just brag the shit out yourself, okay?
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys couldn't hear the dab, I dab. So you guys know the band Settle Your Scores. We have a new album called Retrofit. Just check it out. We have videos on YouTube. We have the music everywhere, every streaming service you could possibly think of. The dice company you mentioned before, we actually kind of rebranded. We're not just doing dice anymore. Instead of Durandal Dice, it's called Stormcraft Woodworks. So if you're looking for handmade dice trays, tabletop, like just anything wooden that has to do with like tabletop gaming, we're making it. And it's high quality as fuck. It's super cool. Definitely get it. We're going to make like custom stuff too. So you can get like logos and like, if you want to put your character name on stuff, we're doing that as well. I also have some solo music coming out.
Yes.
Called Blades. BLVDES. I put the A upside down to be like edgy, but like kind of funny.
I love it.
So check that out. I have a song coming out in November, on November 5th, with a really, really, really talented artist. Her name is Mystique. She's an Australian pianist who does like, she plays like classical piano, but she also does, it's called Pimped Up Deathcore. You might have seen some of her stuff like floating around where she'll take like Chelsea Grin and just add like a bunch of like,
I've seen
chorus.
That person.
Yeah,
she's on TikTok?
Like a bleach blonde. She's all over. She's like a bleach blonde. She's usually wearing like a beanie like in her videos. And she just is like an insane piano player. So I have a song coming out with her in November, and I'm really stoked on it.
Awesome. Well, Christian, thank you so much for being on the podcast. We're really glad that this worked out. Thank you for all of your information. Thanks for like being such a cool fucking dude. Thanks for being in Settle Your Scores. Settle Your Scores is fucking awesome, man. Well, Zoom is about to kick us off because I'm a cheap bitch and I don't pay for it. So when it just kicks, that's my bad. But again, thank you so much for being here, man. You're freaking awesome, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much. I'm down to do this anytime, and I'm really sorry for being late, dude. Like I'm actually like really mad at myself.
You're fine. You're all good. You're all good, man. No worries. We'll catch you later. All right, man.
All right.
Peace.